Greetings, fiends. Welcome to the coffee house. Tonight, I'm going to start the first of a three-part interview with the fabulous Monique Dupree. Monique is the first Black Scream Queen. She is the true original Gata. She is a comic book model. She is an actress. She is a wrestler. She is a mom. And she is an absolutely beautiful human being. And we're going to talk about all of it. Thanks for joining us. And I am with the amazing and the stunning Monique Dupree.
And the sweaty.
And the sweaty.
Hello.
Monique is known as the first Black Scream Queen. So, as you guys know, she is one of us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you are also known, and I'll probably say this incorrectly, as the true original Gata.
The true original Gata. Yep.
All right, I got it right.
Got it. Yep. Which is just basically the true original cat. I am a cat person. I am the cat woman. And that's actually my name, my trademark. It's my legal trademark now.
Well,
so.
You may know, you may see that any one of my three may join us at any given time. So that would be awesome. Nice then if you won't be uncomfortable by that if a kitty jumps up on the screen.
Oh, never uncomfortable, but I miss having my little furry pets. My daughter has 3, but I don't have any anymore because our 2 passed away. So they're out in our yard with all of our other animals that we've gone through, our guinea pigs. And yeah, we just love, we love animals. We love furry children.
And that's what they are, for sure.
Yes, they are.
Now, Monique, you started acting, I believe I read when you were like 14?
Yes, 13, 14-ish was my first role, my first movie role. My gosh, that just is so long ago. I mean,
come on, you look like you're 20.
Well, thank you. But I can't believe that it's been, that long. Like, I have a son that'll be 13 soon, and I'm looking at him going, when I was around your age, that's when I knew I wanted to, not just entertain, but like do film, do television. I hadn't done anything yet, but I really wanted to.
I guess you always knew that this was what you wanted to do, the direction that you wanted to go.
Entertainment was definitely a direction that I've wanted to go in for as long as I could walk. And I know that seems to sound so cliche, but it really, truly, from performing for my family at holidays, and I went from thinking I was Madonna, then I thought I was Janet Jackson, and like I just went through the spectrum of people. And then I had my cousin who recently passed away. We grew up together more as sisters than cousins, and we thought we were salt and pepper. So she had the Jerry curl, and I wanted the Jerry curl, but she was like, "You can't have it. You have to be Pepper." So it was like it was always a performance thing. It was always I wanted to challenge myself. I would make up dances. I would sing. I would design my own clothing. So it was a little bit of all of the arts kind of rolled into one to just create Monique Dupree. And I knew I wanted to do it, but I wanted to be in front of a camera to see if being in front of the camera felt as good as it looked. And I tell you, when I got that role for Lean on Me and my grandmother gave me permission to do that film, we filmed from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Now imagine a 13-year-old being up for 12 hours. I loved it. And when they yelled action, I couldn't get enough. I was that extra that I was a featured extra. I had another role in the movie, but like when we first started, we were just walking the streets back and forth for 12 hours a day. When they yelled action, I just knew I was a star. I was just like, yes, this is me. And even though there's hundreds of people walking next to me, it was such an amazing feeling. And I said, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is what I need to do. This work, this grind right here, that's what I want to do. So.
And you have done a little bit of all of it. You've been an actress, a singer. Well, you still sing with the band.
Yeah, I still sing, but unfortunately our band is defunct. It was kind of like that show that used to have like what happened to the band.
Right.
Our DJ passed away of I believe a heroin overdose.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Our drummer went the way of the dodo. We don't know where he went. But it was just one thing after the other, and we kind of all fell apart. And we still have the music, which my ex wants to put together and revamp it and put it back out there again. And I'm all for that because we're like Ike and Tina Turner without the abuse.
Right.
Just take the abuse out of it. It was just an amazing chemistry, and it was like he did spoken word and I would sing. He would rap and do spoken word and I would sing.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that we can get that going again. But yeah, when I say that I love the arts, I mean, I try my hand at everything to see if I like it or not.
You sure did. I mean, when I was looking up your resume, it was like actor, singer, producer, director, model, art, just the all-around entrepreneur.
I'm all over the place. I am.
Comic book modeling. It's like, that's awesome.
I know that they say that you should focus on one thing, and to a certain degree, that's true. But for me, my energy is all over the place, and I need to feed those little parts of myself because they're there. I need to feed it. So when I said, people used to go, you look like you're, built like a comic book model, but that was in between the weight because, I yo-yoed in weight because I have 10 children. So I've ended up losing almost 80 pounds, but like in between when I was smaller, they were like, you look like a comic book model. And so we started taking photographs, and then a comic book artist happened to say, I love your look. And then that was kind of like a marriage right there because he's been my main artist ever since. And he said he can draw me with his eyes closed now because he has so many references and he's drawn me so much. And I love doing that because that's another form of art. You don't just stand in front of the camera and take pictures.
Right.
You have to convey a certain emotion because, he's drawing this for a comic book. You need the emotion. You need angry, you need attitude, you need groggy, first get up in the morning when you're, all of these different emotions. So I have to convey that in my face and in my body language through photo, which I feel like is harder to do because you have to capture that moment. Whereas in film, it's movement.
Yes.
So it was a challenge, and I said, okay, another challenge, here we go. And it's something that I've done, and I shoot myself now most times, even for those references or from my own photo shoots, because I've just not had time to shoot with a photographer or go out because wrestling had taken over my life for a bit of time, which is another thing
and we'll get
that
into
I got involved in.
I'm curious about that too, so.
Yes, there's so many different facets, and I apologize if I bounce, but I never know, like it's hard for me to talk about myself in this respect. And I've had to learn to have a certain comfortability with it. So I tend to jump. That's how I ease into it.
Woman, you have done so much, and you are such an amazing example of what one can do with one's life and turning difficulties into positive things, that you never need to apologize for anything. So
Oh,
bouncing around is, that's life. That's life.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, I apologize. 1 second. Yes, Elizabeth. Yes, you can go upstairs. Go ahead. That is my youngest, uh, the new drama queen. I have to move over now because she is the new drama queen in this house. But yeah, and that's, and like, speaking of my children, I've always tried to get them involved because I've always seen interests between, the different ones. They have so many different interests. It's always hard to keep up. But my daughter Liberty loves to dance and she loves to sing, and she was like, "Mom, I want to be in movies like you." And then my daughter Karma, who has done the most film work, she's 19 now, but she's done the most film work. She started doing films, independent films, with me when she was about 6 years old.
Wow.
They would just use her for bit parts, and then two of my kids got killed off in a movie, so that was interesting. Horror. My kids love, and they've breathed horror, and I used to actually get ridiculed years ago saying, how can you allow your children to watch horror films when they're so young? It's going to give them nightmares and blah, 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 blah. And I said, my children used to be on set playing in the fake blood and
Right.
breaking down the guts that's in the scene, and and then they got to see it, the finished product.
Right.
So I'm not saying that it still wouldn't give them a scare factor, but they lived it. This was their
Right.
everyday normal thing growing up. So of course I'm gonna let them watch it. Like, they were in a horror movie. They got killed in a horror movie.
Right.
And everybody is different. Everybody's families are different. And the way we do things is, you don't want to do something, in terms of like what you want to watch, what you don't want to watch, you tell us. We had some kids that are like, I really don't want to watch horror movies, so you don't watch.
Right.
When the other group is watching, you come over here and you watch this. But I'm not going to tell them that they can't because of an age factor. It's always a case by case situation with me because every person is their own individual. So you don't treat everybody the same. And
exactly.
I don't like to do that. So I don't do that. And I don't care if I was ridiculed. I did it anyway.
People are always going to ridicule for something.
They absolutely are.
And I think as long as one is true to one's belief system and doing what is right.
Right.
You're going to come out ahead.
That's been my struggle for the longest time, to be honest, because I am the type of personality that when I get attacked a certain amount of times, I start questioning myself, which is bad. I would go, well, should I stop doing this? Or maybe I am wrong, or maybe I shouldn't, but it's always based off of what somebody else feels and not what I felt, or not what what I'm analyzing myself. And it's a constant struggle. And sometimes I post things to not only remind other people, but to remind myself. I know a lot of young women follow me, and I do show them in my posts, I do own my sexuality. At the same time, I do show that I don't always feel beautiful. I don't always feel comfortable. I don't always love myself like I should. And I make that known. I go through all of these things. I'm a human being. It's what I do. It's okay for you to go through the process, just as long as you can come back to looking at yourself, saying, I have whatever flaws, I have whatever, but this is what makes me me. This is why I am strong. This is why I am beautiful. That's what I hope people come back to. So it's a whole thing. It's therapeutic for me. And then I hope that it's helping someone else at the same time, whilst going through my own internal therapy.
Yeah, yeah. I tell you, out there, fiends, anybody on Facebook, or if you're watching this on YouTube, ladies, follow this lady on Facebook, because the posts that she has daily are just amazing and inspirational.
I try. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. That means a lot, because especially interacting with women, men comment on my stuff all the time.
Oh, I'm sure.
And of course it's because of the photos. But again, when and I do my own photo shoots nowadays. Anthony Thomas did most of my shoots through most of the years, and he is one of the most amazing photographers. Which is why, I mean, that was also why I had married him, because he's just an amazing person, period. But even since we've separated, we've learned to take all of those talents, all of that love, all of that everything, and still be a cohesive unit. The only problem is that I'm usually in another state. So then he can't shoot me. So I started going, well, I'm loyal to him, so I'm going to start shooting myself. So so that's what I started doing. And he was like, if you keep that up, you're not going to need me at all. And I was like, no, because I get tired of shooting myself and having to look at, you know, how I'm posed and all of that stuff. Like, I love our chemistry because all I have to do is be a model. I don't have to do everything else. I don't have to set up the shot and take the shot. And, you know, I just get to be a model.
So you just get to focus on one thing instead of the 10 things that you're usually focusing on.
Absolutely. Because when I'm shooting myself, I've set up my lighting, my backdrop, you know, then I have to worry about my wardrobe, my makeup. Like, I do all of that stuff myself because I'm never around anybody else who can or will do it for me, especially when I'm in New York. I'm alone. So I have to do all of that stuff myself. And I had to learn, like, I am not a makeup person. I don't wear makeup. You should have seen me throwing eyeshadow on my face to come for your interview. It was so bad.
Perfectly. You look gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. But I, like, you know, no foundation or anything. And normally when I set up for an interview, I said, well, I got to make sure my face is good. But this time I said, well, I'm just going to throw some eyeshadow on, maybe some lipstick, and I'm just going to be me, because it's all I got right now.
And that is amazing and beautiful. So
Thank you.
Inside and out. And I think it's the inside that makes the beautiful outside.
I always say that about people in general. I said, you know, you can have somebody that outwardly looks beautiful, but if their insides are ugly, you can see that. You can see that in their spirit, in their aura, and it in turn makes them ugly, you know, in a way. So I always tell people it starts right in here, you know.
Yes,
I mean, again, though, those are things that sound so corny, but it's so true. It really is. It doesn't take anything to be nice. And I understand that people can be horrible. And that's a nice word that I'm going to use, because I've been encountering a lot of stuff. But a lot of the times, you know, I try to kill them with kindness or ignore it. But a lot of times we take other people's negativity into ourselves. And that's where we go wrong, because then we take it into ourselves and then it's turning us ugly. Yes. And you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to put somebody else's ugliness and their wrong and their hatred onto yourself. Yeah. But we're all guilty of it. We all are guilty of it. Yes, we are. I know I'm guilty of it. And I really had to start kind of looking at things differently and turn things around, you know what I'm saying? And again, it's a struggle. It's an everyday struggle. And especially working in the entertainment industry and in film and stuff, I know, you know, it's just so much ugly in the business. I used to think that the film industry was was bad in terms of like attitudes and stuff like that. And I don't mean like, I'm not saying like as a whole, I just mean
Yeah.
as compared to your day-to-day people, especially when you meet some of your quote unquote heroes that turn out to just kind of be, I don't know, angry people all the time.
Yes, yes.
For whatever the reason. But then I entered the wrestling business.
Please join us for part 2 of the interview on Saturday, when we will get into some in-depth discussion about family and wrestling. Grab up a cup of coffee and we'll see you then.